At the end of last summer into the fall, I was riding in the passenger seat of my husband's vehicle, and as we're going down over the mountain, I was having a conversation with him about how we had recently found out in our 40s that we were expecting baby number 5. And I said in a tongue-in-cheek way to him, sort of talking to the Lord within our conversation, I said, "Is this good timing for you, God?" in a sarcastic kind of way. And right as soon as I said that, I said to Frank, "Oh no, God just said to me in my head, no, it's good timing for you." And that is a lesson during the waiting process that I did not expect to learn, and maybe even one that I didn't want to learn at first. It was definitely a shock to the both of us that we were expecting again. And so this year I'll be 42 and my husband will be 46, and we have a 3-month-old daughter, including 4 other children, ages 13, 11, and 10, and 5. So sometimes the lessons that we learn are ones we did not seek out answers to or even really want to be a part of that learning process. But in the process of welcoming our daughter Emma, the pregnancy was not very easy for me. I went through extra challenges that I did not experience with my other pregnancies. In the midst of 2020, there was a lot of loss. We did attend more funerals last year than we had ever done in the past, within a 1-year period. And also my husband's 21-year business partnership in the construction business fizzled out as some true colors were shown during the pressure of the year. And my husband decided that he would like to make a career change, and at the end of the year he decided to leave the business. And so we had that going on, the pregnancy. We decided to homeschool the kids. And so during the pregnancy, we had a lot of outside pressures already. And this was a waiting period maybe you could relate to if you've ever gone through multiple situations that are out of your control and you are waiting for things to get better. So in that waiting, something that's been helpful and such a gift from the Father to me is the gift of dreams, and also hearing his voice again. One sad thing I forgot to mention about last year was that our congregation, it's a Messianic congregation that's in our town within walking distance, it split in August due to an unfortunate disagreement between some of the members that we were unaware of until after it had already happened. And so here we are, we don't have a congregation, and all I want from the Father during this time of isolation and all these pressures was, "God, please speak to me. I want to hear your voice again. It's been years since I've gotten a dream or a voice from him, just like a voicemail message, really. And I'm craving him, and I'm craving his voice in my life. And I want to fall in love with him again." And that's the 2 things that I remember saying. Now, through the course of my pregnancy and all the other pressures I just mentioned, somewhere near the end, I began having severe pelvic pain that would keep me up at night. And one night I was laying in bed and I cried. I'm crying. My husband is sleeping next to me, and I'm crying, and I'm saying to the Lord, "Why do I have to be in such amount of pain? Why am I in this pain?" And it would wake me up in the middle of the night, just this throbbing, and I couldn't get comfortable. And he says to me, "To show you my glory." And I'm like, to show me your glory? And he said, "Yes." He repeated himself, "To show you my glory." Another thing the Father said to me was, in my multiple trips to the bathroom, being in my 3rd trimester and I walked over through the threshold of into our bathroom, and the Father says to me, hang on, it's going to be a wild ride. And I stopped dead in my tracks. I'm like, oh no, no. And he said, don't worry, I'll be with you. I was like, what are we getting into, God? And then another thing the Father had said to me again in the last trimester, again, walking over to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and I said a random thought like, God, I miss dancing in the living room. And he says to me, well, dance with me. And I took that to mean that he is the leader. He's my dance partner and he's the leader. So take his lead, step with him. One of the last things I guess I'd like to share that the Father has done for me during the waiting period is a dream that I had, and some paperwork that should have been filed. The ex-business partner should have provided for us to get our taxes done. He never did it, and it was never provided. And so we were unable to file our taxes on time due to that. And we had to file an extension. But before that happened, the Father says to me in a dream, you're not going to get your W-2s. So, and I was at peace in the dream about it. And so when it happened for real in real life, I was already at peace. I didn't worry. I thought the Father's got this. He told me already, he's got it. But in the dream after the W-2, I went over to my jewelry box in the dream and put on my engagement ring, which doesn't fit and right now because of all the pregnancy and postpartum stuff. And I saw there's all these extra rings in there. They're silver and gold and gems, and I began to put one on every finger and the other hand, and just I had more than enough. And the Father had provided what I needed, and then some, and then abundance. And I know God is saying, don't worry about your finances. I've got this, and I'm going to provide you with what you need and then more, and trust me. So those are some of the little tidbits and really important things to me in my life that I hold on to. When the Father speaks to me, I grab it and hold on, and I keep it. And it sustains me for months and years. I will remember what the Lord has done and what he said to me. And that is the second part of what I wanted to share. The first part, in the waiting, it's important to me, and the Lord has spoken to me personally in my own situation and has given me his voice and helped me to be at peace because he shared something with me. And then the second thing is to remember what he's done in the past and to look back and say, God, you've been faithful. You'll be faithful again. And you were faithful then. Look at what you've done for me already. Look at how you've provided. Look at how you've saved me from that situation. And look at how you've brought me through hard things. I know that you'll do it again. So those two things are what the Lord's done for me in the waiting period. And I'd like you to be introduced to Emma. Emma has Down syndrome, and praise God, though, when she arrived, it was a surprise. We did not know ahead of time. But since then, the Lord is making leaps and bounds in her life and just knocking it out of the park for her. And I just want to praise the Father in a testimony that he has healed 2 holes in her heart, that she had failed a hearing test twice, and now she passed. I would also like to praise God that she was on an NG feeding tube that saved her life for about 5 weeks. And she, on May 19th, 2021, did so well with her feedings and gaining weight that they were able to take the NG feeding tube out. And now she exclusively breastfeeds for the past 2.5 weeks, and just recently she started to gain weight. The doctors had expected her to lose weight, plateau, and then begin to gain. And so in this waiting period with Emma, We finally are seeing some weight gain, and she's doing great. Thank you for everybody who prayed and who knew about our situation. And I'm praising God with you and looking forward to hearing everyone else's stories. Bye.